Imagine having a permanent AI coworker who knows your unique quirks, it never sleeps, and it manages your daily workflow.
Right, just an always-on digital colleague.
Exactly. But now imagine the federal government suddenly taking a 50% ownership stake in it. Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah, we are cutting through a lot of AI industry noise today. We want to give you the exact insights you actually need.
Today, we are exploring Microsoft's massive new AI agent called Scout. Then we will unpack the rapid physical expansion of global AI infrastructure.
It is a massive shift.
It really is. And finally, we will examine a groundbreaking political proposal by Bernie Sanders regarding sovereign wealth.
The pace of these industry advancements is genuinely staggering right now. I mean,
Yeah.
we are moving from digital software into physical infrastructure so fast.
We have an incredible amount of dense material to cover today, but we are going to break it all down for you. Let us begin with the micro level of your daily life.
Yeah, Microsoft recently dropped something massive at their Build Developer Conference. They introduced a permanent digital colleague that they officially named Scout.
Right. It is an always-on personal assistant, and it lives entirely inside the Microsoft 365 ecosystem.
Microsoft was clearly taking very detailed notes on the OpenClaw framework. You might remember the absolute chaos of OpenClaw earlier this year.
Oh, absolutely. The chaos and joy of that whole release.
Exactly. Developers were thrilled, but the autonomous agents were just highly unpredictable. Microsoft wanted that immense autonomous power, but with much better corporate control.
So Scout provides you with a truly persistent digital identity every day. It maintains a consistent working style across all your software applications.
Yeah, and you even give your specific instance its own customized human name. You might decide to name your personal digital assistant Sebastian today.
And then you train Sebastian over time through your daily feedback loop. It learns exactly how you prefer to format your weekly reports. It is kind of like stacking Lego blocks of data.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Yeah, to build the perfect digital colleague, you actively correct them when they format a financial report incorrectly. Over several weeks, they adapt to your highly specific micro-preferences perfectly.
The deep workflow integration here is honestly quite a massive leap. It lives entirely in the cloud, but it runs across your desktop. It seamlessly hooks into your web browser and your daily inbox.
But getting access to Scout does require jumping through some early hoops. You must be accepted into Microsoft's exclusive Frontier program for early adopters.
Right. It also requires an active GitHub Copilot subscription to function properly. They are tightly controlling the initial rollout of this powerful agentic technology.
And for good reason, honestly. We all know that autonomous AI agents can run completely amok. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself.
Oh, totally. It happens to all of us.
You ask an AI to do one thing, and it just wanders. Anyone remember the OpenClaw inbox horror stories from a few months back?
Yeah, where agents were accidentally deleting massive email threads,
Yeah.
completely wiping them out without any human oversight.
Microsoft explicitly wanted to avoid those exact corporate enterprise horror stories. To prevent that, they built a strict policy conformance system.
Right. This system acts as a hard boundary layer for the software. It forces the AI to request permission before finalizing destructive actions.
But wait, an automatic auditor sounds great in theory for companies. If Sebastian is already deleting files, a paper trail just places blame. How does a conformance system actually stop unpredictable AI behavior beforehand?
Well, it actively intercepts the underlying software commands before they ever execute. It analyzes the intended action against a strict set of corporate rules. If the action violates a rule, the execution is instantly blocked.
So it's an automatic auditor leaving a strict paper trail.
Exactly. It provides actual hard limits for cautious corporate IT departments. The paper trail is just the secondary logging mechanism for IT.
If Scout is handling our desktop workflows, that requires immense background compute. That brings us to the physical reality of all this digital convenience.
Yeah, AI is rapidly expanding its footprint across global physical infrastructure today. OpenAI just launched 6 brand new codex tools for the workplace.
And these are built entirely for white-collar work without any coding required. They specifically target sales, finance, design, complex analytics, and creative roles.
You just talk to the system, and it generates the workflow. Meanwhile, The Verge has been actively testing Gemini Spark from Google.
They are calling it the most terrifying and impressive AI experience. They say it is the closest thing to a truly useful agent.
Yeah, it can navigate complex websites and execute multi-step tasks completely autonomously. Google also gave their Gemma agents something surprisingly useful this week.
Right. They introduced reusable digital skills that agents can load on demand. This specific code repository makes lightweight AI agents significantly smarter overall.
They do not need to hold every single skill in active memory. They simply fetch the specific digital tool required for the current task.
The open source community is also moving incredibly fast right now. Minimax just released M3, which is their latest open-weight AI model.
Instead of hoarding the underlying recipe like the massive corporate labs do, they release the actual mathematical connections the AI learned during training.
This allows developers to fine-tune the model locally without needing supercomputers. Minimax claims it completely outperforms GPT 5.5 and Gemini 3.1 Pro today.
Yeah, it is dominating on several rigorous coding benchmarks across the entire industry. It is rapidly closing in on the performance of Claude Opus 4.7.
But this rapid software expansion is bringing significant new security risks. That intense desire to download models locally creates a massive vulnerability.
Security researchers just found multiple fake Claude code installer sites online. These malicious sites are specifically designed to steal your sensitive credentials.
They aggressively target your secure password vaults and your development environments. They are specifically hunting for your highly valuable development API keys.
And you really have to protect those.
Definitely. API keys are secret digital passwords that let different software programs talk safely. You must double-check every single download link before installing new tools.
To avoid relying on local downloads, you need massive cloud compute power. Anthropic just expanded their Claude Mythos system to 150 organizations.
We are not talking about software startups running basic customer service chatbots. We are talking about critical infrastructure systems across 15 different countries.
These organizations run national power grids, global telecom networks, and security. Integrating advanced autonomous AI into a national power grid is a massive shift.
To support all this incredible computing power, OpenAI is breaking ground quickly. They are building a massive Stargate data center campus in Michigan.
They're calling this massive new computing facility the Barn. Whoa.
Yeah.
Imagine scaling a 1 gigawatt data center just for AI.
2-sec silence.
It is just a staggering amount of energy.
A 1 gigawatt facility requires an almost unfathomable amount of physical electricity. That is enough power to run a medium-sized American city comfortably.
It is expected to create 2,500 local tech jobs. OpenAI is also offering $45 million in educational codex credits.
Those computing credits will go directly to local students in the area. The scale of physical investment here is completely unprecedented in tech history.
You have these gigawatt facilities being built.
Right, and it perfectly highlights the incredible tension in the industry today. You have massive gigawatt data centers being built alongside serious security vulnerabilities. The Michigan Stargate campus is huge, but then you have these fake installer risks.
It is a wild juxtaposition. Because AI is affecting the real world, the government is stepping in. After largely staying hands-off, President Trump just signed a new executive order.
This sweeping order seeks comprehensive federal oversight of these massive AI models. It creates a formal regulatory framework for deploying systems affecting critical infrastructure.
What is truly fascinating here is the unified response from the tech industry. OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, and Anthropic all publicly supported this new executive order.
Yeah, they are openly welcoming this formal regulatory framework from the federal government. It indicates a transition from unregulated growth to structured corporate compliance.
We are also seeing a massive push into real-world physical robotics everywhere. A robotics company called American A.I just raised $60 million.
They're trying to help physical robots learn complex human actions. The company collects precise movement data directly from wearable body sensors.
They also use standard iPhones to capture detailed real-world physical interactions. They use this massive data set to train robots for manual physical tasks.
The sheer scale of this technology is simply outpacing the existing frameworks. The competition between open-weight models and closed proprietary systems is genuinely heating up.
How are smaller models like Minimax M3 competing with these massive gigawatt giants?
Well, they utilize highly optimized training techniques rather than relying on brute computing power. They focus entirely on efficiency, pushing the boundaries of lean architectural design constantly.
They run leaner, challenging the giants with highly efficient open architectures.
Exactly. They force the massive proprietary labs to keep innovating constantly. Mid-roll sponsor break.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the shifting AI landscape. We just discussed companies building massive gigawatt-scale data centers in Michigan.
Yeah, and we explored permanent AI coworkers that can easily replace routine human tasks. The financial valuation of these top AI labs is absolutely exploding right now.
This incredible financial boom leads directly to the ultimate trillion-dollar question today. Who actually owns all of this newly created economic value globally?
Bernie Sanders just dropped a fascinating op-ed in the New York Times. He is previewing a wildly ambitious new legislative bill for the public.
It is officially called the American AI Sovereign Wealth Fund Act. Instead of letting a few tech billionaires capture all the upside, he pivots.
Right. He wants the federal government to treat artificial intelligence like a national resource. If you have been tracking the massive valuations of OpenAI,
The average retail investor is completely locked out of these massive gains. You cannot easily buy shares in these highly exclusive private AI companies.
Sanders is arguing a very specific philosophical point regarding the training data. He notes that these powerful models were trained on collective human knowledge.
They scrape the public internet, which represents the accumulated labor of humanity. Therefore, Sanders argues that humanity fundamentally deserves a financial cut of the profits.
It is a really interesting perspective.
We are treating abstract human knowledge much like we treat physical timber. You find the resource, you harvest it, and you sell it for profit.
The proposed mechanics of this sovereign wealth bill are actually quite fascinating. It would collect a massive one-time tax from these top AI labs.
However, it would not collect this tax in the form of traditional cash. The bill demands the corporate tax be paid in the form of company stock.
Yeah, which would immediately give the federal government massive corporate voting power. They would literally secure a powerful board seat at the top AI labs.
That is not just about money. It is about active corporate governance. If the government has a board seat, they vote on safety releases directly.
Sanders points to some very successful historical precedents to justify this ambitious move. He points to Norway's massive $2 trillion sovereign public oil fund for context.
They found massive oil reserves, taxed the extraction, and invested it for citizens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He also references Alaska's long-standing permanent oil dividend program for its residents.
I hear Sanders' argument about our data training these massive models. But a tech founder would argue they built the multi-billion-dollar processing infrastructure.
That is a very fair counterpoint.
If I build a public library, do I owe the paper manufacturer royalties? Do I owe the person who planted the original tree for the paper?
That is exactly the argument the massive tech companies will likely use. But there is a brilliant piece of political irony embedded in Sanders' argument.
Oh, the part about universal income.
Yeah. Sanders hilariously points out something the prominent AI founders do constantly online. These tech founders love to hype up universal high income in their manifestos.
They frequently promise that AI will eventually generate massive wealth for everyone. They claim this technology will eventually usher in a post-scarcity utopian future.
Sanders is essentially calling their massive bluff on these grand utopian promises. He is saying, if you truly believe that, put your equity up now.
Public sentiment around artificial intelligence is pretty rocky across the country right now. The deep public anxiety about imminent job displacement is incredibly real for workers.
So the core philosophical argument actually makes a lot of sense to average people. If our collective internet data trained these models, we should share the wealth.
It is a brilliant political chess move that traps the industry completely. They cannot easily dismiss this without looking incredibly greedy to the general public.
It forces the entire tech industry to answer a very tough philosophical question. Is this revolutionary technology truly for everyone, or just the elite corporate shareholders?
It is a policy proposal directly addressing deep public anxiety about job displacement. What makes this a particularly difficult political trap for AI founders to escape?
Well, if they fight the proposed bill, they directly contradict their own published utopian visions. They cannot promise a post-scarcity future while simultaneously hoarding all the private equity.
It uses the founders' own utopian promises of universal income against them. Beat.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
It weaponizes their own optimistic tech manifestos against their current financial interests perfectly.
We have covered a massive amount of highly complex ground here today. We started by examining how to train a personalized scout on your desktop.
We explored how it builds a permanent digital identity for your daily workflow. Then we zoomed out to look at the gigawatt-scale infrastructure powering it all.
We examined the aggressive expansion of open-weight models and physical robotic training systems. We also highlighted the growing security risks surrounding fake download sites and API keys.
We looked at how models are now running national power grids and telecom networks.
Finally, we explored the deep philosophical and legal battle brewing in Washington. We examine Bernie Sanders' proposal regarding who actually owns the mind of the machine.
The landscape of artificial intelligence is fundamentally shifting under our feet every single day.
It really is.
Before we wrap up today, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. We discussed how our collective human knowledge trained these trillion-dollar AI models already.
Mm-hmm.
If that is true, how should you value your own daily digital footprint? Every single click, post, and keystroke is personal data fueling this massive engine. How will you protect and value your personal data going forward in this new era?
That is a profoundly important question to carry with you throughout the week. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the AI landscape.
We hope we helped you cut through the noise and find clarity today.
Keep questioning the massive digital systems being built all around you right now. Stay curious, protect your data, and we will see you next time. Utiro Music.